Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris from Many Worlds Tavern. This is episode 3 of the Many Worlds Tavern podcast. Today I'm hanging out with Bree Sanchez. What's up, Bree?
What's up?
Bree I met you when you were a game guide at Teen Victory, which is a local board game cafe here in Houston. Yeah, that's how we met, but I think we had you on for the 10 Candles playthrough, and we'll probably have you on a lot more content in the future, so I dragged you to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about some new stuff with Many Worlds. We're going to talk to Bree about what she's been playing and reading and watching and doing. And then we'll talk about the 10 Candles playthrough and any future stuff we have with Bree. So, yeah, Bree, what's up? What are you playing? What are you doing? What's happening?
So a lot of Animal Crossing, and I got back into The Sims recently. So have you ever played The Sims?
When I was younger, I played plenty, but I haven't in a long time.
So I've been on and off playing The Sims. I used to watch my sister play. I think it was like The Sims 2, and all she would do would just like try to light everything on fire. I remember one time she had this lot where there was a fire pit and just all this flammable stuff, and we just watched everything go up in flames. And then you had like a genie lamp. I don't think they have it in the 4th game, but she tried to run up to it and like have the genie save us, but this genie just made it worse.
It's wild how The Sims really brings out the worst in people.
Yeah, no, it's like, well, maybe you're an arsonist. Yeah. No, so I had my first sim death yesterday.
Yes.
So I've been buying a bunch of like sim DLC lately, and you could buy like the jungle pack where you like go to this place called Salvadoria, which is kind of like a mix of like, I think it's like South America and like just like sim, like ancient Mayan ruins. So yeah, we were out there in the wilderness, and like, you know, bugs can get you. You're like in the ancient temple, and one of our sims just got exhausted while he was swimming in this temple and started drowning. And we're freaking out. My boyfriend and I are playing. We're freaking out. Our sim's drowning, and the Grim Reaper is standing outside of the temple. And my other sim goes to beg for that sim's life. And the Grim Reaper is like, yeah, whatever, I'll spare his life. Yeah. But because the sim was inside the ancient temple, the Grim Reaper couldn't bring him back to life.
Because he was inside.
Yeah, because he was inside the temple.
Oh, man.
So we couldn't bring him back to life. And then the game was like, oh, your vacation's ending soon. So, because you like have to go on vacation.
Come back,
to go to Salvadoria. So then the vacation ended right after he died. Yeah. And we went back. And like usually you get like sim, like their ashes, right? And you can like bring them back from the dead if you get their ashes. But because we were in Salvadoria, we didn't get his ashes.
It's just like everything is wrong.
Yeah, so our sim's heartbroken that her husband had just died.
Yeah. And
we're freaking out because we had our first sim death. And so luckily we had there's an occult pack where you can do seances to bring ghosts back. So we start playing the seance pack to try to bring our sim back. And then we also have the magic pack where you can de-deathify people using magic.
Okay, so are you still in the process?
No, last night we had to speed run the occult pack. Yeah. Bring back the ghost. Okay. Once the ghost was brought back, we brought in our magic people to intercept and try to de-deathify him, but it didn't work. Oh, no. So at that point, we opened up the cheat menu and just I think death has no meaning. Yeah, no, you have to just like, because in The Sims you can easily just do like Command Shift, like whatever you want to do. So we brought him back to life, and it was a whole thing. Okay.
That's crazy. That's crazy that like, that's funny how the Grim Reaper like behaved differently because you were on the vacation in the cave. And, dang, yeah. I feel like I would like to play The Sims again. I don't play any games like The Sims lately, or even Animal Crossing. I don't have a Switch, so I haven't. I don't think I've ever played an Animal Crossing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like casual management games?
I feel like the management games that I've played are like really stressful. Like, have you played Don't Starve?
No, I've heard of it.
I really like Don't Starve, but it's just like so stressful, and it's to the point where, as like, it took many deaths to figure out how to like survive.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like I feel comfortable. Like, all my food is like all set. I made like a bee farm, so I have like honey like crazy, and I'm not gonna starve. So the next step is to like go adventure in like the caves and go deeper and deeper. But I just like almost don't want to load my save, because I'm just like, no, but I'm good now. I don't have to do anything more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that. I also like factory games like Factorio, and there's like a 3D one that recently came out. But I like that stuff. But yeah, I've never really played Sims or Animal Crossing or anything. I would love to try Animal Crossing. I feel like I missed it a little bit.
You did, but I think the update is trying to be super accessible for new players, because like now they have like little pop-ups that are like, this is what you can do on the island, and they have like an app now, like an app in game that's like Nook tips and how to live your best island life.
Yeah. Well, one of our roasters, Jack, was playing it when it came out, but he just felt like so inferior because he like wasn't playing it optimally like all day. So he would like log on and see his friends' stuff and be like, how did they get there so quickly? So I think he got a little discouraged. No,
the online community is crazy, so much so that they actually had to nerf the economy system, because when the New Horizons came on, you could like buy turnips, which are essentially like stocks in the game. So there was this website called Nookazon where everyone was like, hey, my stocks are going for like 800 bells. Come over. So people instantly became millionaires in their game. So Nintendo had to nerf that, obviously.
But did they take any money from people, or?
I think some people were legit making money off of.
Oh no, I mean like, did Nintendo ever take away their turnip money, or is like the damage was done?
All they did was they like lowered turnip prices. I don't think they ever get to like 800 now, and also like you can put your money in the bank, and over time, it gets interest. They nerfed the interest amount because like a lot of people are also time skipping. So like if I just like put my million bells and time jump, then I'm rich. So they did that.
It's a crazy other world that I haven't tried yet, but
no, but I think those people are. It's not. That's definitely not the point of Animal Crossing. You're definitely supposed to only play in small bursts.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like you load in, you do your daily tasks, you you water the plants, you check the store, and then like if you talk to your villagers too much, they're even like, hey, you should take a break. You're talking to me too much.
Gotta chill out.
So like it's definitely meant to be played in small increments, which I think is like to its benefit, but also its defeat. Like I was really excited for the update until you just do your daily grind, and then it's like, okay, well I only play for 10 minutes because you're kind of waiting for items to spawn, because like the store only carries 3 items a day, and then you're like excited for all the new DLC items, but it's like, oh well, they only show up 3 times a day, so like I've already kind of burnt out on it. I mean, it just came out like Friday, I think.
Yeah. I feel like games with daily stuff, I am wary of, because I've been a victim of them in the past. I remember I used to play Destiny 1 a lot, and I was like, this is not a fun game anymore. But I was like, oh, I just have to do these chores. Because like if I don't, that's the worst thing.
Yeah, but they're definitely like chores, right? Like, oh, I have to do this. And,
yeah. Sometimes it's like, well, think of how much fun I'll have if I do these chores, but also it's like, no, I think you're just addicted. It's like some self-awareness that has to go on with daily stuff like that. Cool. Any tabletop stuff? Any watching movies, TV?
I've been... So, have you downloaded the Likewise app? This is not sponsored by
Likewise. I don't think I...
So it's actually... it does recommendations based on like your watch history. Okay. So like there's so much content out there that I often get like content burned out.
Yeah.
But I'm into like psychological thrillers and mystery.
Okay.
So I actually finished watching The Flight Attendant, which was recommended by Likewise, and that's on HBO Max.
Okay.
And it's like about this flight attendant who, you know, she slept with this one guy and she wakes up and he's dead next to her. And they're in like South Korea or something. And obviously the US government is like, you killed this man. Yeah. And then it gets all like convoluted and mystery. And I finished the ending and it was very lackluster for what it was.
I couldn't tell if you were going to say lackluster or amazing.
No, I think like the first few episodes were so interesting, and the editing's good, the acting's good, the premise is good, but then the ending was just like, it was a like big business and spies, and then they did like the ending where the main character's like in a coffee shop and, you know, talking to her best friend, and she's like, I'm sober now too. Okay. And it's just like all feel good. I'm just like, whatever.
Okay. Flight attendant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I watch it? Is it long?
It's not long at all. It's maybe like 10 episodes.
Okay.
But I definitely wouldn't binge it. I think it's because like it's so serious.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have like the story beats of a binge-worthy show, which like I think Netflix is getting a lot better at, like because they know that people are binging their shows. So like they definitely have like that beat for it.
I see. Yeah.
I don't think like HBO has kind of reached that yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Yesterday I played some Hey That's My Fish. Have you played Hey That's My Fish?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually played it with David Burer and his girlfriend. I'm not sure actually. Who goes by Talia Vess on the internet. She's like a Magic player, influencer. I think she does commentating and competes as well. Yeah, they invited us over to talk about Many Worlds and say hi, but also mostly just to play Hey That's My Fish, which is, if people listening have never played it, it's like a hex-based grid, and it's made up of a bunch of tiles, and your penguins and the tiles are like ice blocks, and each ice block has a different number of fish, either like 1, 2, or 3. And your penguins can move like a queen in chess, like they can move any direction and as far as they want. And then when you leave a space, you pick up that space, and that the amount of fish on there counts to your points at the end of the game. And then, it's like that. But the problem is you can't like jump over empty spaces. So as the game goes on, it's like the island device is breaking. It's a super simple game, but it is really cutthroat. It's like you have to really just be like, this is all business as you move your penguin, like to really like cut off somebody. It's really good. I think, I don't know. He was saying that it was like his favorite thing to recommend for like first dates at the game cafe, because he's like, this is really easy to teach and might test some personality quirks as well.
Yeah.
So, that was awesome. I wish I knew more magic stuff. Do you play Magic at all?
No.
Yeah, I never got into it. Andrew plays a little bit, or played a lot when he was younger, but hasn't kept up. I used to play Hearthstone, so I have like kind of an idea of like the feeling of collecting and grinding out a collectible card game. But yeah, Magic I've not played very much. But next time I see them, I promise them I'd play some Magic with them. So I'll go give that a shot. Watching, reading. I feel like I'm just catching up on stuff. I watched Black Widow the other day. I think I liked more than I feel like people made it sound when. I don't know. I think it was cool. I think if the MCU, I think basically there's a point as far as for the MCU goes that it existed, but I also think as a self-contained thing, I was like, yeah, I thought it was fun. I watched Raya and the Last Dragon.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I think I was like interested to. There's a lot of like Southeast Asian discourse about Raya, so I was like, okay, cool. Let's check it out. So yeah, excited to like participate in that discourse a little bit and talk about it. But as a fun movie, I think it was really fun, beautiful, pretty feel good. So yeah.
What's the discourse?
Well, I think it's just like an interesting. It's like a good time, or I don't think there's a lot of like Southeast Asian representation as far as in animated movies. So I was like, okay, cool, that's cool. But it is also kind of like Aladdin-y, Moana-y, where it's like a fictional culture and world. So there's kind of like a amalgamation, and it's kind of cool to be like, oh, this is cool, like representation, but also I've been thinking about it like, is this doing a good job? And then I especially think of like other similar worlds like Avatar: The Last Airbender, stuff like that. It's like, okay, it's like, how do I feel about certain things? How do I feel about actors playing certain roles? Yeah. Overall, I don't think it's like overly problematic or anything. I was just like, oh, this is interesting to think about. And overall, I think a pretty good step in the future for the future. But yeah, some things left wanting, but some things they did pretty good. So yeah.
No, I think I definitely feel that, being Hispanic and, obviously Disney hasn't really, or like, not many production companies have really touched like Hispanic cultures.
Yeah.
And, Coco was really good. But there's still no like princess officially. They have Elena of Avalor, but that's on Disney Plus. Nobody knows who she is.
I don't know
exactly. She was on Disney like Kids or something.
Okay.
It was like Disney Channel, and she is pretty much like they cheated by doing like all the Hispanic cultures in one princess.
Okay.
So like, she's a mixture of everything instead of being like specifically like, Mexican, or it felt like a little bit of a cheat. It's like a little bit of a win. It's like I still like Elena because she's my only Hispanic princess.
Yeah.
But also like I want a movie, like an actual movie.
Yeah, I think in general Raya, I don't think it was that problematic, and I think generally it was cool. But I think also it's mostly like symbols that I was seeing represented for myself rather than, like more realistic cultural touchstones. Like there's like martial arts and her like early weapons. Like, oh, those are like, that's like a Filipino martial art. But I don't know if I like felt that represented, but I don't think it was like a problem. I did have a problem with, did you watch Captain America, the new one, the show?
I did not.
Okay. Well, there's this part, and I think it's in the comics. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's where like Wolverine hangs out as well. But there's like this island. I'm blanking on the name. And I bet people that know the comics a lot better know a lot more about the lore about it. But there's this island of like, it's like all like smugglers and like criminals and stuff. It's like, oh, cool. And it's like in Asia. And I was like, okay, cool. And then there's like a song in Tagalog, which is like the Filipino language, the most common one. And I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna see some like Filipino villains. I was like, okay, cool. But there's nobody. There's not even like Asians in this whole club that's in. And I know it's like a. I mean, I don't know how I'd feel if it was like all Filipinos are like these bad pirates, but I was also like, that's what they would be in this situation, or at least most of them. I don't know. I thought that was like way weirder than like Raya being like a pan Asian thing, which is I think there's room for that for sure. Even seeing skin color is like something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it though. There's like the kung fu. There's like the con baby with the monkeys. It was pretty cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. What else? Reading, eating, drinking. That's all. Drinking coffee. I got this coffee from. There's a coffee shop called Cambrian Coffee. It's like 10 minutes away from here. They are like, it's run by this British couple, and I think the wife is a geologist. So they have like fossil themed stuff. Like their logo is like a trilobite. And I think she's British, and they have like British pastries, and they have really awesome sausage rolls. But anyways, they were featuring a coffee from England that was like their guest roaster. So I brought some of that to the roastery. It's like a Colombian pink Bourbon, honey washed. It's really good. I paid like $30 for it. It was a small box. So I was like, okay, once in a while, I never pay for coffee anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess like once in a while I feel okay paying double for, the once in a while bag, but it's delicious. So, yeah. Reason I brought you on, other than just to say hi, because that's cool too. We played 10 Candles together.
Mm-hmm.
I have played 10 Candles a few times. If people haven't watched it yet, we have a playthrough of this RPG called 10 Candles. We played it the week of Halloween in the roastery, which when you guys got here, it was like way more chill, but I was alone here from like 5 to 7 or whenever we started and setting up, and it was spooky. It was like so dark, and I was like, I'm good. But then we have this compressor in the back, and once in a while it kicks on, and it's like really loud. And I went back there in the dark, and it just kicked on, and it scared the shit out of me. It was like, I don't know, just a stupid jump scare. But anyways, it was spooky. I've never been at the roastery at night. What did you think about 10 Candles?
I think it was a really interesting story, like, experience. And it was really cool to be kind of part of the story making process, because like, I've really only dabbled in like D&D and Stars Without Number, where mostly you're on like a path guided by like a DM, right? But 10 Candles has like the fact mechanic, which like it took a little bit of getting used to, but I realized like the fact mechanic is like, oh, I can pretty much insert any like story aspect I want. And, obviously I brought in the security guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really interesting to like, I feel like almost truly have like a collaborative storytelling experience.
Yeah. So 10 Candles doesn't have a DM necessarily. There's someone who facilitates the beginning part, but then also this player also kind of controls the monster or the different force that's acting in the world, because it's like a post-apocalypse thing and all that. But yeah, it's interesting. The fact mechanic is that Bree's talking about is like, in certain points in the game, you can kind of just say something that's true. So Bree said the security guard like came and showed up with his golf cart.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of the game is not to like beat the DM, and most D&D is like supposed to not do that too, but sometimes it feels like it, like you are like fighting them as a boss. And so 10 Candles is cool because everyone knows they're gonna die, which I think is it's interesting that that's part of the setup is like, hey, you're gonna die, we're gonna tell the story of how you get there. But yeah, I think it is pretty collaborative between the players and the facilitator. So
yeah, and in a way it feels like you're trying to beat death. Like, I know death is ultimately the goal in a weird way, but like, you know, we're trying to survive, and it's like you're trying to somehow cheat death, or you know, make that, you know, try to beat that hurdle, but you know you can't. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe that. But
yeah, it's kind of like knowing that there's a story worth telling, even if a death is inevitable. There's like human stuff like dread and hopelessness, but also like holding on to hope, and all. There's like intense feelings that happen in those situations that are fun to talk about. Put your mind there, because you don't get to do that often otherwise. So hopefully, you know, in the next few months we're going to try to get some other playthroughs in of other games. Maybe save 10 Candles for a bit, but we are going to try. You signed up for Alice is Missing?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that, or?
I've looked into it in the past,
Yeah,
but it's been something that's like piqued my interest, but I haven't like done it yet.
Yeah, I have not played it yet either. Alice is Missing is you play it silently, so all of the communication is done through text messaging. So I think we're going to set it up to where we'll all have our own room and start texting each other, and we'll be able to record like our thoughts once in a while. But it came out around when the pandemic started, so I feel like it was like great timing for people to record it over Discord. But yeah, I missed it, so I really want to try it. There's that, and then Icarus is coming up soon as well. Icarus is like a more collaborative storytelling game as well, and it's like the fall of a great civilization, and I've heard people compare it to like the worlds in BioShock and stuff like that, where it's like a utopia kind of crumbling kind of game. So yeah, we've got those in the pipeline. We've got some board games coming up. Let's see. I met you at Teen Victory. My brother-in-law Matt used to work there as well, so we used to go there literally twice a week at least.
You guys were in pretty often.
We were in a lot. Sometimes I was definitely freeloading because Matt could get around the game cover, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll tag along. But yeah, I love that place. I think it's I think just like game cafes in general, I'm glad there's like a new like fun entertainment spot for adults that is like, hey, we can pay $5 to play a board game. What was your like experience like there, and just like game cafe stuff in general? You had to teach a lot of games.
Well, so it was actually one of my favorite jobs ever to have. And not because like, oh, I get to, you know, touch board games and play board games all day, but like I think it really had a really good like community energy. Like, you know, the people who worked there were awesome. The like regulars that we had were awesome, and it was really cool like sitting down teaching people how to play a board game. And often enough you would just like sit there and like, you know, chill for a round, see how everyone does, you get to know people and what kind of games they like. And I liked having a wide variety of games because, like, while I did study games in, like, college, you got to play the basics for homework, like, best homework ever.
Yeah.
But, it's like play, I haven't touched board games in forever.
Yeah.
What's that one where you're trading jewels to merchants? Splendor, yes. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot. That's like one of the like main ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get roasted in the comments.
No, you're good.
No, so like teaching Splendor and like learning how to play the mechanics, but then also kind of branching out, like, oh, if you like Splendor, you're gonna like this game.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cool games that I loved there. Yeah. Namely the collaborative ones. I feel like that's kind of what I found myself drawn to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's that's cool that you brought up the community aspect, because I think we started this company and it's like all online, so it's kind of been interesting to figure out how we're going to foster a community online. We're used to like serving people coffee over a bar, so it's a little more obvious to be like, well, this is how you treat people in a coffee shop to foster a community. On the internet, it's fun. It's like weird because it's like, okay, I've never really spent tons of time on camera, but now it's like, well, if I don't do that, how am I going to like communicate with people what we're about and what we're up to? So it's been interesting trying all different kinds of stuff. We're trying the YouTube stuff, we're trying TikTok, we're trying Twitch. I still don't know what the content is. I'm just like trying different stuff. I even have trying to be like self-aware, because like even me, like being really into board games, I don't want to watch that many like people that just record and play the board game. I think it's like a different experience than playing it. So trying to figure that out. I think that's why the role-playing stuff is interesting. I think it's in generally more entertaining to watch people collaborate with a story. And I mean, there's like, you can't argue that it doesn't work with Critical Role existing and all these other groups existing. So yeah, that's one thing we're trying is more role-playing, which I don't have as much experience in, for sure. So again, out of my comfort zone there. And then Andrew plays tons of D&D. He plays like almost every week. So we'll get him on camera too, playing D&D. I need to infiltrate his campaign one of these days. Yeah. So we're very glad to have you coming along more often, and Ryan and other folks. So yeah, Many Worlds' new initiative is we're going to have a lot more people collaborating on content. Not just Chris, because I think I'm doing okay, but it'll be more fun with more people. So yeah, we're excited to bring you guys on.
Yeah.
And then hopefully in the future we'll see lots and lots of Bree. It's still a small operation at Many Worlds. There's 2 of us plus the roasting crew, and they work hard in the back so that we can be in front of the camera. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to have some other people on.
Yeah, it'll be really fun playing and exploring other cool games.
Cool.
I feel like that's what I'm all about.
Awesome. Okay, that's going to be episode 3 of the Many Worlds Tavern podcast. If you haven't had our coffee yet, that's awesome that you made it to the end of the episode doing so. You can find our coffee at manyworldstavern.com. We have some cool stuff to announce next week, including a new coffee, which we it's going to be a single origin coffee that we have 4 blends on the menu right now, and we have not done a single origin yet. We don't think single origin or blends are better or worse necessarily, but we do like the experience you get getting a coffee from one place. So that'll be rolling out next week. We're going to have card mats ready for the holidays with the electric sheep art, which is super fun. And we're going to have some, I believe we're going to have to-go container cups, mirror cups coming up as well for the holidays. So be on the lookout. If you liked this or want to keep up with all of our new content, you subscribe on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and our newsletter. Awesome. Thanks again, Bree. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
That's it. See ya.